You need to hear this right now, because these old wheat pennies could change everything. People are accidentally spending hidden treasure coins every single day without even looking twice. Welcome back to Lucky Penny Finds, and today we're exposing the top 3 most valuable ultra-rare wheat, penny 1 cent, coins worth huge money. Do not spend these coins because some dirty old pennies sitting in pockets, jars, and cash drawers are actually silent fortunes collectors are fighting over in secret auctions. These old coins are special. These coins equal hidden wealth, and one tiny detail can turn an ordinary penny into serious money. Check your pocket now. Stay till the end, because every coin in this video gets bigger, rarer, and more shocking. And the final coin could be a life-changing opportunity nobody talks about. First, coin number 1. The 1947 wheat penny with no mint mark is one of those coins that looks completely harmless at first glance. Most people would toss it into spare change without a second thought. That is exactly why this coin is so dangerous to ignore. Somewhere out there, hidden inside old jars, dusty drawers, forgotten piggy banks, and pocket change, this silent fortune is still being spent, like it means nothing. And the craziest part is most people have no idea collectors quietly hunt for this coin with serious obsession. This is not fiction. This is real hidden wealth hiding in plain sight. Back in 1947, America was going through a strange transition period after World War II. The country was rebuilding. Families were under financial pressure. Industries were changing fast. And the United States Mint was still operating under intense production demands. Coins were being pushed out rapidly because the economy needed circulating money everywhere. Workers at the mint were handling massive production numbers, and under those stressful conditions, tiny details began appearing on certain coins that collectors decades later would become obsessed with. What looked ordinary back then became a hidden treasure today. Now here's where things start getting serious. The 1947 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, and that missing mint mark is exactly what makes people stop and stare. Some viewers think no mint mark means common. Big mistake. Certain Philadelphia wheat pennies survive today with surfaces, strikes, and preserved original detail that collectors will pay shocking money to own. Especially in very fine condition, where the coin still carries its honest circulated history while keeping strong visible detail, the value can become unbelievable. When you hold this coin in your hand, it feels small, simple, and almost forgotten. But that little copper penny carries weight in the collector world that most people cannot imagine. The coin was made mostly from copper, giving it that warm vintage tone collectors love. It weighs around 3.11 grams and has that classic wheat penny size with a diameter close to 19 millimeters and a thin profile around 1.5 millimeters thick. But nobody chasing this coin cares only about measurements. What collectors really chase is presence. The look, the feel, the originality, that untouched antique appearance that instantly tells experienced buyers this coin survived decades without being ruined. And trust me, survival is everything with this coin. Most 1947 pennies were heavily used, damaged, cleaned, scratched, or simply destroyed over time. Think about how many hands touch these coins over generations. They passed through grocery stores, gas stations, war veterans, factory workers, children, families trying to survive hard years. Most were worn down until the details disappeared forever. That is why a very fine example today creates excitement. Strong wheat lines on the reverse. Clear lettering. Honest brown surfaces. Sharp date visibility. These details change everything. The front of the coin carries Abraham Lincoln's portrait, and collectors study every tiny feature of that design. They look closely at the hair detail above Lincoln's ear. They inspect the cheek and jawline for wear patterns. They study the date spacing. They even obsess over the color flowing across the surface under light. Some 1,947 wheat pennies develop deep chocolate brown shades, while others show traces of glowing red underneath decades of aging. That natural toning matters more than people realize. Original toning can mean the difference between an ordinary coin and a hidden fortune collectors aggressively bid on. And here comes the warning most people never hear until it is too late. Never clean this coin. Never polish it. Never scrub it with baking soda or chemicals. The second somebody cleans an old wheat penny, collectors immediately lose interest because the originality is destroyed forever. That old surface, even if it looks dark or dirty, is exactly what serious buyers want. Those antique textures tell the story of the coin's life. Once cleaned, the magic disappears. This is why professional grading has become so critical. Serious collectors do not gamble when huge money is involved. They want authentication, condition verification, surface analysis, and protection. A professionally graded 1,947 with no mint mark wheat penny in very fine condition instantly becomes more desirable because buyers trust what they are seeing. And trust creates aggressive auction behavior. What happens at auctions with coins like this is honestly shocking. The room gets quiet. Bidders watch carefully. Nobody wants to reveal how badly they want the coin. Then suddenly, the offers start climbing fast. Quiet wealth moves differently. Serious collectors are not screaming online about these coins every day. They are holding them privately, locking them away, waiting as supply keeps shrinking year after year. And while ordinary people continue spending these pennies without looking, collectors keep hunting. That is why the demand keeps rising. There are fewer untouched examples left every year. Every damaged coin, every cleaned coin, every lost coin makes surviving originals even more desirable. Some collectors spend years trying to find the right 1,947 wheat penny with strong detail and original surfaces because they know the market for rare Lincoln cents remains incredibly powerful. Hidden treasure coins like this create emotional buying because they connect history, rarity, survival, and quiet wealth all together. And now comes the part that shocks most viewers. 1,947 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition reached a market value around $286,000. Think about that for a second. A single old penny most people would ignore becoming serious money, silent fortune, life-changing wealth hiding in plain sight. This is why you check every coin carefully. This is why you never assume old pennies are worthless. And this is exactly why Lucky Penny Finds exists. If you ever find one of these coins, slow down immediately. Look closely at the date. Check for the missing mint mark under the year. Study the surfaces carefully under light. Never clean it. Never scrape it. Never try to improve the shine. Protect it safely and have it professionally graded because tiny details can completely change the value. Patience is golden in the rare coin world, and rushed mistakes destroy hidden fortunes every single day. Collectors especially love examples that still carry honest circulation history without being abused. That soft, vintage brown tone, slightly worn wheat lines, and natural aging create a look modern coins simply cannot copy. It feels like holding American history inside your fingers. And that emotional connection is exactly why collectors keep fighting for these coins behind closed doors. But do not relax yet, because what comes next is even bigger. The next wheat penny on this list is surrounded by even more mystery, even more collector obsession, and one tiny detail that turns this hidden treasure into a shocking auction monster. Most people have probably already spent one without realizing it. And when you see the next coin, you may never look at pocket change the same way again. Next coin number 2. The next coin is where things start getting truly unbelievable, because this is the kind of wheat penny people see every day and still spend without hesitation. That is exactly why collectors keep winning while ordinary people keep losing hidden fortunes. The 1957 with D wheat penny with that dark black reverse surface and beautiful aged look has become one of those silent treasure coins creating serious excitement in the collector world right now. And if you are not checking your pennies carefully, you could accidentally throw away life-changing money without even realizing it. Do not spend this coin. Stay till the end, because one tiny detail on this penny changes everything. Back in 1957, America was deep inside a powerful economic expansion. Factories were booming, businesses were growing fast, families were spending money again, and the United States Mint was producing enormous numbers of coins to keep up with circulation demands. Pennies moved everywhere during that period. Gas stations, diners, corner stores, movie theaters, vending machines, these little copper coins passed through millions of hands every single day. But under all that pressure and rapid production, certain wheat pennies developed unique appearances and preservation qualities that decades later would become collector gold. The Denver Mint, marked by the small d under the date, was pushing coin production heavily during those years. Machines were running hard. Dies wore down quickly. Small, striking variations appeared. Surface textures changed from batch to batch. And somewhere in that massive flood of ordinary pennies, a few survivors escaped destruction and aging in ways collectors now obsess over. That is where this hidden treasure enters the story. At first glance, the 1957 with D wheat penny looks simple. Abraham Lincoln appears on the front with that familiar portrait Americans have recognized for generations. On the reverse, the famous wheat stalks stretch along both sides surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. But collectors are not just staring at the design. They are now hunting for personality. Character. Original, untouched surfaces. And this specific coin becomes extremely special because of that black spat appearance on the reverse side. That dark reverse tone creates an almost mysterious antique look collectors love. Some people wrongly think dark surfaces mean damage. Huge mistake. In many cases, natural aging and deep original toning create a dramatic appearance that serious collectors aggressively chase. Under light, these coins can show rich dark brown, charcoal black, and faded copper shades blending together in ways modern coins simply cannot copy. It gives the coin presence. It feels old, historic, untouched, like a secret piece of hidden American wealth surviving decades unnoticed. And when you hold one, it does not feel like a fortune. That is what makes this so shocking. This tiny 1-cent coin weighs around 3.11 grams, carries a diameter close to 19 millimeters, and has that thin 1.5 millimeters thickness people barely notice in their pockets. Struck mainly from copper with a warm metallic tone underneath the aging. Yet despite its small size, collectors treat certain surviving examples like buried treasure, because original beauty is becoming harder and harder to find. Most 1,957 with D pennies never survived properly. They were scratched, bent, polished, cleaned, or simply destroyed through circulation. Think about how many ended up in soda machines, lost under car seats, tossed into junk drawers, or damaged by moisture and fingerprints over the decades. Fine condition examples with attractive original surfaces are becoming increasingly difficult to locate because so many were ruined by people trying to improve them. And here comes the warning you absolutely cannot ignore. Never clean this coin. Never shine it. Never rub the surface trying to make it brighter. Collectors hate cleaned coins because once that original skin disappears, the value can collapse instantly. That beautiful black spat look on the reverse is exactly the kind of originality serious buyers want to see. It tells a story. It proves survival. It creates emotional attraction during auctions. This detail changes everything. Collectors studying a 1,957 with D wheat penny examine tiny features most people never even notice. They inspect the sharpness of the wheat lines. They check the spacing around the lettering. They study Lincoln's hair and cheek details on the front. They examine the edges for wear consistency. And they especially pay attention to color flow across the surfaces because originality matters more than people understand. A naturally aged coin with strong, honest detail creates a powerful reaction in the collector world. That is why professional grading becomes critical. When huge money enters the picture, buyers want authentication and condition verification from trusted grading services. A professionally graded 1,957 with D wheat penny, with original dark reverse toning and strong preserved detail, immediately becomes more desirable because collectors know untouched examples are disappearing fast. Supply keeps shrinking while demand keeps rising. And the auction world surrounding coins like this becomes intense. Quiet. Competitive. Serious collectors do not always announce what they are hunting publicly. Sometimes bidding wars happen almost silently. One bidder raises slightly. Another responds instantly. The room tightens. Everyone understands they may never see another example with the same look, the same originality, the same preservation. This is not fiction. This is exactly how hidden wealth moves inside the rare coin market. What makes the 1,957 with D wheat penny especially fascinating is how ordinary it still appears to the public. Millions of people would ignore it instantly. Some would spend it for almost nothing. Others would leave it buried in old change jars for years without checking the date or mint mark. Meanwhile, collectors continue searching because they understand something most people do not. Old coins with authentic surfaces and preserved detail are becoming harder to replace every single year. And once collectors lock these coins into private collections, many never return to the market. Owners hold them tightly because they know demand remains powerful for classic wheat cents with eye appeal and originality. That combination creates quiet wealth. Hidden treasure. Serious money sitting silently inside a tiny copper coin. The shocking part is today's market value for a rare preserved 1,957 with D wheat penny with that beautiful black reverse appearance in fine condition has reached around $215,000. Imagine accidentally spending a penny worth that kind of money. Imagine losing that hidden fortune in everyday circulation because nobody stopped to look carefully. That is happening more often than people realize. So if you find a 1,957 with D wheat penny, pay attention immediately. Look for the D mint mark under the date. Study the reverse color carefully. Do not assume dark toning means damage. Never clean the coin. Protect the surfaces from fingerprints and moisture. And most importantly, have the coin professionally graded, because tiny condition differences can completely transform collector demand and value. Patience matters in this world. The people who rush usually destroy value. The people who preserve originality are the ones who uncover silent fortunes hiding in plain sight. And coins exactly like this prove that old pennies are not just spare change anymore. Some are hidden treasure coins collectors desperately want. But the final coin coming next is even more shocking. What you are about to see makes this penny look small by comparison. One tiny feature on the next wheat cent has created unbelievable collector obsession, explosive auction behavior, and a level of rarity that almost sounds impossible. Most people would still spend it without noticing, and that is exactly why the next coin could be the biggest hidden fortune of them all. Next coin number 3. If you thought the last wheat pennies were shocking, this final coin changes everything. This is the coin collectors whisper about. The coin hidden inside old jars, forgotten drawers, and dusty family collections, while ordinary people keep spending it like it means absolutely nothing. The 1944 wheat penny, with no mint mark, is one of those silent fortune coins that can look worn, dark, and ordinary on the outside, but behind that old copper surface could be life-changing wealth. And the scariest part is people are accidentally losing these hidden treasure coins every single day. Do not spend this coin. Check your pocket now, because this is where serious money enters the story. Back in 1944, America was still deep in the pressure of World War II. Factories were operating non-stop, metal supplies were under stress, families were sacrificing daily comforts, and the United States Mint was under enormous pressure to keep coin production moving across the country. Every cent mattered during that period. The economy was tense, materials were valuable, and the government had already experimented with steel pennies in 1943 because copper was desperately needed for wartime supplies. Then, in 1944, the mint shifted back toward copper-based cents using recycled wartime shell casings and recovered metal materials. That alone gives the 1944 wheat penny an incredible historical feeling collectors absolutely love. And that history is something you can almost feel when you hold one in your hand. The 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, and even though millions were produced, surviving examples with attractive original surfaces and strong character have become increasingly difficult to find. Especially in very good condition, with honest circulation wear and untouched vintage personality, these coins create powerful collector demand because they represent survival. Real American history carried through decades of circulation. At first glance, the coin looks simple. Abraham Lincoln faces to the right on the front with the familiar words, "In God we trust," above him and "Liberty" beside him. But collectors are not just looking at the artwork. They are hunting for originality, texture, color, surface preservation. Tiny details most people completely ignore, and this is where things become dangerous to overlook. The 1944 wheat penny carries that classic vintage copper appearance collectors chase aggressively. It weighs around 3.11 grams, measures close to 19 millimeters across, and has a thin thickness around 1.5 millimeters. Small, lightweight, easy to ignore. Yet inside the rare coin world, certain examples become hidden fortunes because condition and originality change everything. Most of these coins lived hard lives. They traveled through wartime America, post-war businesses, grocery stores, factories, schools, and family homes for decades. Many were scratched badly, polished by mistake, exposed to moisture, or cleaned by people who had no idea they were destroying collector value forever. That is exactly why surviving original examples are becoming more valuable every year. And if you remember one thing from this video, remember this warning right now. Never clean this coin. Do not scrub it. Do not polish it. Do not dip it in chemicals. Do not try to improve the shine. Collectors want the original surface exactly as time created it. Even dark toning, faded copper shades, and old circulation wear can increase emotional appeal because they prove authenticity and untouched survival. Once a coin is cleaned, that natural aging disappears forever, and serious buyers instantly lose interest. This is not fiction. Tiny mistakes destroy hidden wealth every day. Now here is the part most people never notice. The missing mint mark under the date is actually important. No mint mark means Philadelphia mint production, and collectors pay extremely close attention to Philadelphia wheat cents because subtle strike differences, surface quality, and preservation can dramatically affect desirability. Some examples show softer strikes, while others carry surprisingly sharp wheat lines and bold lettering even after years of circulation. These tiny differences create obsession in the collector world. This detail changes everything. Collectors examine Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and hair detail under magnification. They study the edges for damage. They inspect the reverse wheat stalks carefully to judge wear patterns. And most importantly, they look for original untouched surfaces with natural color flow across the coin. That antique appearance creates emotional reactions during auctions because originality has become rare. And auction rooms become intense when coins like this appear. The atmosphere gets quiet. Bidders stay focused. Nobody wants to reveal how badly they want the coin. Then, the numbers slowly climb higher and higher. Serious collectors understand these coins are disappearing from the market. Many are locked away inside private collections and rarely sold again. Owners hold onto them because demand keeps growing while supply keeps shrinking. Every damaged coin makes surviving originals even more desirable. Every cleaned coin makes untouched examples even more valuable. That is why the 1944 with no mint mark wheat penny continues creating powerful excitement today. It connects history, rarity, survival, and hidden wealth all inside one tiny coin people still ignore in everyday life. Some collectors spend years searching for examples with the right look, the right originality, and the right preservation because these coins carry emotional value beyond money itself. But the money is still absolutely shocking. One rare 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark in very good condition reached a market value around $325,000, a single old penny becoming serious money, silent fortune, life-changing wealth hiding in plain sight. Imagine finding that in an old coffee can full of change. Imagine spending it accidentally without checking the date. That is why people need to pay attention now more than ever. So if you discover a 1944 wheat penny, slow down immediately. Check carefully for the missing mint mark under the date. Study the surfaces under good lighting. Look for natural color and original texture. Never clean the coin. Keep fingerprints away from the surface. And most importantly, have it professionally graded because authentication and condition can completely transform collector demand and final value. This is exactly why patience matters in rare coin collecting. The people who rush often destroy hidden treasure. The people who preserve originality are the ones uncovering quiet wealth, sitting unnoticed for decades. These old wheat pennies are not ordinary coins anymore. They are forgotten pieces of American history carrying serious money potential. And that is what makes this entire list so unbelievable. 3 old pennies most people would ignore. Yet together, they reveal a world of hidden fortune, secret collector battles, and life-changing opportunities hiding in plain sight every single day. If this video opened your eyes to the hidden treasure hiding inside ordinary pocket change, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to Lucky Penny Finds, and turn on notifications because the next video gets even crazier. We're uncovering more rare US coins people are accidentally spending right now, including mysterious error coins, hidden mint mistakes, and silent fortune coins collectors desperately want. Stay alert, keep checking your change, and remember, the next penny you find could be the one that changes everything.